bill be now read a second time.
Thanks, Deputy Speaker.
And I call a member for Canning.
Thank you. Yep. We have a very deep connection with the United States. We have a political connection. They're one of the oldest continuing democracies. We have business connections, diplomatic connections, government connections through our military and intelligence agencies. But we also have a deep connection to the United States with people-to-people links. I say this from personal experience with my own family, my wife being an American and my 3 children also being dual citizens. And we travel to the US frequently, like many Australians. We're going to see more and more travel to the United States over the coming decade, particularly with AUKUS, as we build out our industrial base and we share technology and embed Australians with the United States military enterprise. And of course, tourism is something that will continue. We see a lot of sporting connections and travel through that, and our film industry, of course. And so we want to work out ways that we can make that travel a little easier, which is why the US Global Entry Program is important, and that's why this bill expands Australia's participation in the US Global Entry Program. What is the program? Well, eligible citizens of trusted partner countries can have access to faster entry at US passports. And we want to make this available to Australians and make life easier for them. And so what this bill does, it amends the AusCheck Act 2007 to establish the legislative basis for the fulfilment of Australia's background checking obligations under the United States Global Entry Program. And so when implemented, the Global Entry Program will allow Australians access to expedited immigration and customs channels when entering the United States. The bill achieves this objective by expanding the regulation-making power in the AusCheck Act to allow for the expansion of the AusCheck scheme for the purpose of GEP background checks. And to make this happen, the bill also makes a number of consequential and supporting amendments to the AusCheck Act, including new definitions in subsection 4.1 of the Act to support the amendments relating to GEP background checks, amending the existing definition of AusCheck scheme personal information to include information obtained by an agency for the purposes of GEP background checks, amending the definition of background check in section 5 of the Act to expand the types of background checks permissible under the AusCheck scheme for the GEP, which also includes a check for offences or certain offences under the Defence Force Discipline Act of 1982, which will meet the USA's eligibility criteria for the program. And finally, it inserts a new section 10AB in the AusCheck Act, which provides a regulation-making power to prescribe the matters in regulation that are to be covered by the AusCheck scheme when conducting background checks in connection with the GEP. We support the policy intent of this bill. Very simply, we want Australians to have a better experience at the other end of their journey to the United States with expedited entry through customs in the United States. Streamlined travel arrangements will benefit frequent travellers to the United States and promote better business linkages and people-to-people links. And the strategic background, of course, for this is AUKUS, massive multi-generational nation-building endeavour. We'll see a lot of people coming to and from the US, and I think it's really important that we start streamlining our military, our industrial base, our government to support this, but also arrangements like this, which will really facilitate those people-to-people movements. So I want to recognise the important work of staff at the Department of Home and Affairs who've been working on this important reform for many years, and it's good to see this work finally coming to fruition. I note this bill was only introduced to the House yesterday, so we're still working through the detail, and we'll ensure the bill is fit for purpose in achieving its stated objectives. Thank you.
I thank the Shadow Minister. And